welcome to your yoga practice. It is Wednesday, April 2nd. Good morning, Toby. As a reminder, this is the last time I'll be with you live for a couple of weeks, but you can keep coming to this Zoom room at this time every Monday through Friday. Wonderful Christy is going to be playing some pre-recorded and archived videos for you, so you can keep your practice consistent, and then I'll be back with more yoga knowledge to share with you all as soon as possible. All right, today is a heart opening practice with a bit of meditation practice afterwards. Just a heads up, usually I can stay and chat. Today I'm going to have to jump off as soon as meditation is done. Okay, let's go ahead and get our amazing bodies moving. So taking a comfortable seat, squeeze the shoulders up to your ears, roll them back and down. Do this again and again, and you can start connecting your breath to the movement. Inhaling when you squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, rolling them back and down. Do that a few more times. Good, and then let your shoulders settle back and down. You might lean back a little bit, so we're engaging our core muscles to support this action. Lifting up the heart, softening down the shoulders. Let your gaze settle down. Enjoy a few breaths just as you are. Good. Now on an inhale, sweep your right arm up and over, folding over to your left side. You could bring your left hand to the ground like a little kickstand. Pull that right arm up and over, big breath. And come back to center. Switch to the other side. Your left arm slides up and over. Big breath here. And return through center. This time, inhale both arms out and up. Maybe look up. Exhale, bend the elbows, drawing your arms down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Look up. And breathe. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. If the neck doesn't like when you lift your head like that, you can either drop your chin down a bit or bring your fingertips back behind your head. Offer yourself support. It can be something a bit empowering about that. Another big breath in. And then on an exhale, come through neutral. Round your spine as you drop chin towards chest. Forearms and hands coming together. Inhale, open back up. Open the arms out. Exhale, draw in. A few more times with your breath. All right, the next time you open your arms out wide, let's see if we could switch the cross of the legs, assuming the legs are crossed. So leaning back, engage your core. See if you can do it, no hands. We're just playing there. It's okay if you had to use your arms or hands. Now inhale, lift your heart a little more. Exhale, return to this rounding the spine, bringing the hands and forearms together. A few more times like this. Good. Now the next time your forearms and hands come together, go ahead and sit up tall and then keep lifting your arms. So elbows, forearms, hands together. Lift your arms as high as you can. Notice where you feel it. For me, it's like my upper shoulders are definitely talking. And then we'll open our arms out wide again. Inhale. Exhale, return the forearms, elbows, hands together. Breathing, lift them as high as you can. There might be some shaking in the muscles here. Maybe we can't quite do it. That's okay too. Notice the mind as much as the body. If the mind makes any story up about that, I promise you are good enough no matter what your physical body can do. One more breath. And then release. Maybe shake those arms out. And then we'll just rest with our palms face up on the lap for a couple of breaths. Notice the shoulders, the area of the chest, front, side, back. let's stand up. If you have a strap available, go ahead and grab that. If you don't have a strap, a towel, a belt, all of that works. And you can also just mimic the motion, and that's fine. All right, but if we have a strap, we're gonna hold it loosely in your hands. Soften your knees. Inhale, stretch your arms forwards and up. And then bring them back. Keep your arms up. Lift the shoulders up towards your ears and then move the arms back. Good, then lower your arms down in front of you. We'll do that again, but just a little bitty workshop here. So reach the arms up overhead. Sometimes in classes, well-meaning teachers will say, lower your shoulders. When your arms are overhead, they'll say, lower your shoulders. And now try to move your arms back in space and just see what's available for you. Okay, then bring the arms to neutral overhead. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Now move your arms back in space and see what's available to you. Took me about 20 years of practicing yoga to realize this. So when our arms are up overhead, our shoulders are in flexion, the natural movement is to slide up. Let it happen. It's fine. If a teacher tells you to drop your shoulders, you could just smile and keep doing what you're doing. One more breath, reach up. And then exhale, hinge over to the right side. Inhale, come back to center, really stretch up, let the shoulders slide up. Exhale, hinge over to the other side. Inhale, come back to center, really shrug the shoulders up, move your arms back in space as far as they'll go. It's okay if it's a lot, it's okay if it's not a lot. Good, and now we'll bend our elbows and we will go ahead and lower our arms down. Elbows bent, we're kind of like a cactus here. And lift your heart, finding a standing back bend. Big breath in. And exhale, release. We can set the strap aside. And then from the top of your mat, inhale, reaching your arms out and up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Good. Inhale for a halfway lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold down. Hands touch the ground. Let's step the right foot back. Breathe in. Nice. Step the left foot back. Another breath. And then lower down. Once you get there, point your toes back. Stretch your arms back alongside you. You might keep your palms on the ground, or you can move your hands to your low back. Maybe you like to interlace your fingers. Roll the shoulders back down together, and then start to lift the heart looking ahead. So you might have your hands interlaced. You might have your hands on your low back or your arms stretching back straight in space. One more breath. And then lower down. Hands alongside your chest, tuck your toes, push yourself up through tabletop. Pause here for a couple of breaths. We're going to look over the right shoulder, so lateral stretch of the spine. Come back through center and look over the left shoulder. Come back through center. Breathing here. Let's really actively push the ground away through our palms. And then drop your head heavy, chin towards chest. Then engage your core. So we're slowly arching our spine up into cat pose. And then slow motion, press your hips back and down towards your heels, passing through Balasana, child's pose. Take another breath here. And then return to tabletop, toes tucked, lift your hips, downward facing dog. From down dog, let's inhale the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Look forward, exhale, step or swing your right foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, step into that right leg, lifting the left leg, standing splits, and then set your left foot down, forward fold. Inhale to lift up halfway, roll the shoulders back together and down, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Pause here for a couple of breaths. Good. Breathing, we'll reach to the sky. Exhale, fold down. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Hands touch the ground. Step your left foot back. Take a breath. Good. Step your right foot back. Take a breath. You could always drop your knees in plank pose if needed. And then we'll lower all the way down. Point the toes back. Stretch your arms back. Palms can stay on the ground or move to your low back or interlace. And when you're ready, on an inhale, start to lift your heart, taking a couple of breaths in a back bend of your choice here. Good. Then lower down, hands alongside your chest. Tuck your toes. Big breath in. Exhale, push up through tabletop. Take a breath or two. Look over your right shoulder, stretching the left side body. Come back through neutral. Look over your left shoulder, stretching the right side body. Come back through neutral. Drop your head heavy. Engage your core, arching your spine up towards the sky. And then breathing, press your hips back towards your heels. Take a breath here. And return to tabletop, then downward facing dog. Couple of breaths. From down dog, let's inhale, lifting the left leg up to the sky. Three-legged dog. Look forward. Exhale, step or swing the left foot to the top of the mat. Big breath in, step forward into your left leg, lifting the right leg to the sky, standing splits. Then set your right foot down next to the left, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, look ahead. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up, full stretch. Exhale, hands to your heart. Drop your arms down by your sides. Take a couple breaths. Noticing how you feel in your body today. And if you happen to close your eyes, go ahead and open them. And we can all look in the space that we're in, or maybe out a window, and just see if you can find something pleasant to look at. And you might give yourself an inner smile as you notice something beautiful. And then on an inhale, we'll reach out and up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Hands plant on the ground. Step your right foot back, then step your left foot back. So we're in our plank pose. Then we'll shift our heels over to the right. So you're coming to the pinky side edge of your right foot, inner edge of your left foot, working towards Vashisthasana side plank. So maybe you lift your left hand off of the ground and up to the sky. If you know this doesn't feel good to your body, an option that I like is to drop the right knee, using that like a kickstand. So we're still getting some strength through the right arm, stretch through the side body and heart space. One more breath, letting it work for you. And then release from plank pose, both hands on the ground, inhale. Then exhale, drop your knees, drop your elbows and forearms. Give yourself a breath or two here in preparation for dolphin pose. Good, let's push the ground away through elbows, forearms, hands. Go ahead and let your head get heavy. Toes tucked, lift your knees off of the ground and start tiptoeing your feet towards your elbows. Keep pushing the ground away really actively through your elbows, forearms, hands. Head is heavy. And breathe here, another slow breath in and out. Walk your feet back. And you can either drop your knees and then plant your hands, or maybe from forearms, plant one hand and then the other, downward facing dog. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Good, go ahead and walk yourself to the top of your mat. On an inhale, rise all the way up. Reaching out and up, let the shoulders slide up and then see if you can find a standing back bend. On an exhale, fold all the way back down. Hands touch the ground. Step your left foot back and then your right foot back, plank pose. Shift your heels to the left, so we're taking Vashisthasana side plank on the other side. See if you can carry the weight into your left hand, and then maybe stretch the right arm up. Remember, we can always drop a knee to the ground, so I like to use the left knee here. See if you can feel a little more expansive through the arms, the heart space. One more big breath. And then return to plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, drop your knees, drop your elbows and forearms. Elbows pretty well under your shoulders. Push the ground away through the elbows, forearms, hands. Tuck the toes, lift the knees and hips. Tiptoe your feet towards your elbows. Dolphin pose. Let the head get heavy here. It's fine to keep a bend in the knees. See if you can feel a stretch through the backs of the legs. You'll probably notice you can find that with or without the legs straightened all the way. Imagine you could root your elbows into the ground and then push them up overhead. So we're pressing our chest towards our thighs. One more breath. Good. Then make your way to downward facing dog. A breath or two here. Let the head be heavy. Again, the shoulders are sliding up towards the ears. You might notice that gives you more space to press your chest towards your thighs. Another inhale. And exhale, tiptoe or hop yourself to the top of your mat. On an inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. We have done some work this morning, so let's pause and just notice how we're feeling. You can keep your hands together in front of your heart or drop your arms down by your sides. Wonderful. Let's move hands to hips and turn to take a wide stance, or maybe you like to just step off of your mat. But we'll take a comfortably wide stance. Inhale, lift up your heart, find a little standing back bend. And then exhale, fold forward and down, leading with the heart. Good. As always, it's okay to soften the knees. Whatever gets you there. Eventually bring your hands to the ground. And then we'll walk our hands back, so under us, back behind our legs. Good. So we're dropping the head heavy, even tucking the chin towards the chest. Looking to round the spine a little bit here. Really walk your fingertips back. That way we can hopefully feel a stretch in the space between the shoulders. You might move your head side to side a little. Good. Bend one knee and then the other if you like. Couple more breaths here. All right. Bring your hands back up to your hips and hinge up. So we're coming to stand up again. Then move your hands to your thighs, squatting down. Dip your left shoulder towards the middle of the mat, looking back over your right shoulder. Come through center and switch to the other side. Return through center, stand up tall. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, open your arms out wide. Palms can face towards the sky. Let's pivot on the right heel so that the right toes and knees are pointing off to the right. Pivot your left heel out a little bit. Then bend into your right knee. So we're coming into warrior two. Palms facing up though. As we breathe in warrior two, imagine pulling your arms back in space, almost like you could plug your thumbs into something behind you. So we're moving the arms back in space, and then you can look over your right shoulder. On an inhale, stretch your right arm up to the sky. And exhale, cartwheel your arms off to the right side, extended side angle. And return to warrior two, palms up. Pivot on your right heel. We'll just switch our feet around. So warrior two in the other direction, now bending your left knee. Palms up, move your arms back in space as best you can. This time let's flex our wrists so that the fingers point more down towards the ground. And look over your left shoulder as you breathe. Good. Neutralize the wrists. Inhale, reach your left arm up and back. Reverse warrior. And breathing, cartwheel your arms off to the left side, extended side angle. And return to warrior two. Hands to hips. Pivot on your left heel. Let's see if we could take a big jump and hop the legs together. Just an option. Coming back to the top of your mat. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale, folding all the way down. Plant your hands, step one foot back and then the other. Plank pose for an inhale. And then exhale, drop your knees, drop your elbows and forearms. Playing with dolphin pose just a little bit more. So far I've just been saying to push your hands into the ground. Another option is always to put a block between your index fingers and thumbs, or to interlace your fingers, or I kind of like to make a fist with one hand and wrap the other hand around it. So those are all options. Either way, we're really rooting the ground, rooting into the ground, pushing the ground down. Notice how that creates space in your shoulders, and then let your head drop and get heavy. Engage your core, tuck your toes, and lift your knees off of the ground. Then we'll walk our feet up towards our elbows. Again, the head is hanging heavy down between the arms. Root into the ground. Shoulders are shrugging up, sliding up towards your ears, head heavy. Breathing like this. This is a lot of work. You can stay just like this. You can take a break, or maybe you tiptoe your feet as close to your elbows as you can get, and then you might lift one leg towards the sky. So I'm going to bend my right knee, lift the right foot up to the sky, stretch it up, extend it as high as I can. Pushing the ground away through the elbows, forearms, hands. Head heavy, breath full. And if you extended one leg up to the sky, go ahead and bring it down, and let's try the other. Breathing however it's going, however it's looking. We're breathing, letting the head be heavy, rooting down into the ground. Shoulders are sliding up to the ears. Good, and then let's drop that foot down. Walk your feet back, drop your knees, press your hips back. Find your way to child's pose or any resting pose that would feel good. Maybe for you today it's sitting up. Noticing the effects of the effort of these poses. Practicing becoming aware of any stories the mind might be telling about what your body can or cannot do in the moment. Just meeting yourself where you are. Celebrating any gains, allowing any shortfalls. We're just here. 2 more breaths. Good. Let's go ahead and all meet on our backs. So if you were in child's pose, you could sit up and just swing your legs around. And we'll roll on down to our spine. You can keep your feet on the ground, maybe walk them out wider. Let the knees knock towards each other. It's okay if they don't touch. And see if you could stretch your arms out wide. Depending on the space you're in, you might need to bend your elbows. And then try to let your shoulders really soften. It might take a couple of breaths. We tend to hold so much in our bodies. So it's really a practice of letting go. Practicing creating space. Practicing working with what is. One more breath. And then in slow motion, let your legs start falling over to the left side. Your right hip might lift off of the ground. And bring yourself back through center. Slow, slow motion, let your legs fall over to the right side. Noticing if and when the left hip lifts. And come back to center. Let's stretch our legs long, dropping your arms down and out. Breathe here as you settle into your Shavasana. Again, we're practicing allowing what is. So if you notice an urge to scratch an itch or to adjust your clothes or any part of you, maybe you can just pause before taking that action. Create space for yourself. Create space for sensations, even if they're not your favorite. We never have to stay in pain, but it is good practice to sit with discomfort. Staying at rest a moment longer. This month, we're exploring brahmacharya, energy management, or right use of energy. So as we rest a moment longer, really try to tap into the awareness of the energy you're feeling within. That'll be a very powerful tool for us practicing how to better manage our energy and our use of it. Just becoming aware. Deepening your breath. You can invite movement into your body, wiggling fingers and toes, having a stretch. And slowly making your way back up to an easy seat. When you get there, you can stretch your arms out and up like you just woke up. Maybe that'll even induce a yawn. Good. All right, let's bring our hands together at our heart and give yourself a bow. Be sensing some gratitude for all of your effort, your practice. If you'd like to close this time by chanting one round of Om, imagine vibrating with all that is. Big breath in. Om. Thank you so much for being here and practicing. If you have time to stay for about 8 minutes of a mindfulness meditation, we'll go ahead and cruise right into that. So if you have a folded blanket, it can feel really nice to sit on that. You could also move to a wall where you could lean back and be supported. Mhm. And then you can let your hands rest in your lap any way that feels comfortable. Something I like doing is resting the right hand in the left hand and then letting the thumbs touch. So our left side's thought of like a more receptive energy, letting it receive the right hand and then thumbs touching. And as we sit, we can do so with some dignity. So lifting up the heart, lifting up the crown of your head, shoulders softly slide back and down. And you might close your eyes or just lower your gaze. Imagine sinking your sitting bones into the ground a little deeper while still keeping the lift through your spine. Maybe lean back in space just a little bit, imagining a wall of gravity there to support you. Softening the thighs. Core muscles are working here to support you, but the belly can still be a little soft for that breath to move. And then see if you can start noticing your breath right at the nostrils. So possibly sensing the cool air as it comes in, and the subtly warmer air as it leaves the nose. Do our best to breathe through the nose as often as possible, especially on the inhales. So we're practicing steadying the attention, just noticing the breath at the nostrils. When you eventually notice that the mind has drifted off, as tends to happen, that's fine. The act of noticing is a moment of power. We can draw our attention back. What's here now? Notice this next breath and the one after it. Again and again. Noticing coolness on the in-breath, warmth on the out-breath. You might stay right where you are or open up your attention to notice how the breath moves in beyond the nostrils. So it comes into the nose, You might imagine the breath like a golden light and see if you can observe where that light shines. When the mind wanders, we just bring it back, noticing this breath. About 1 minute longer. Releasing your meditation practice, noticing how that felt for you. You can bring some movement into the body, maybe just like we began, squeezing the shoulders up, rolling them back and down, giving yourself a little movement through the neck or the spine with a twist. And this concludes our practice today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will be with you virtually, but not live tomorrow. So I can't wait to see you all again soon. I'll be updating the website and sending out emails as soon as possible. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.